Alright, extra steps involved now with OBS, but that's the way it is. Okay, I believe we're going. Alright, hey, good morning. Yet again, here it is, another episode of Red Stone Lapis Lazuli with me, your host, Pogokido. Yeah, for now. Okay. Alright. This is the daily ritual, the weekly ritual of can I switch over? Can I switch over? Will it happen? Let's see. Let's do the transition, right? It's the transition. Oh, it's looking bad. It's looking bad. As soon as I click on this window, it's gonna crash. Watch. Oh, no, it didn't. It's still there. We're still hanging in there. Hey, it did it. That's pretty good. I think I might have found the pattern in the particular order I have to go in order to get the what's it called? To get it to switch over smoothly. I mean, it could have been a number of other things that, you know, who knows what it could have been, but yeah, anyways, so here, hey, ta-da, here I am, you know, I'm in the nether, like, slightly below lava level. I'm the Netherlands of the nether. Yeah. Totally by mistake. Yeah, total accident that I did this. But that's another. Yeah. Anyways, so here I am, nonetheless, and this is a portal. This portal goes to a stronghold somewhere else in the overworld. Here and then, but here, let's just check it out, right? New content. Hey, new content. The first load is long, but then after that, it's like, oh, what's this? No, it's the other direction. Turn around. So here it is. It's the end portal. I ripped out some of the stuff around it, but yeah. And there are zero ender eyes to put in there, ender eyeballs, but I can fix easily. I can easily fix. Might require farming. I might have to go farm in another direction, but it's okay, man. Check it out. It's like, well, how did we even get here? What? Let's go backwards. Right? Isn't that kind of like how life is, right? You're popped into a place. You're like blink, look around. You're like, what? What? I just showed up. What? And like you can look around with your eyeballs and stuff, and you're like, oh my God, here's where I am, right? You can do that. But that doesn't answer the question of how did I get here? like how did I get here? And for that, we rely on history. So yeah, I made this nifty train station. It's your standard train station. It's just a standard, and it does something. It just makes it easy to traverse the nether, because we're literally going. I mean, like, we're going through hell. We're going through hell, and it's a lot easier when you have a train station and a rail line and protection. It can be really useful, actually. Actually, like, there's a reason to go to hell. It's faster. It's kind of funny, but yeah. I wonder how much that applies to real life. Like, sure, it's hell to go to the gym and like exert myself until my body starts failing. Like 3 times a week. It's hell. Why would I do that? Oh, because if I want to like maintain health, this is what I have to do. Go through hell. And it's faster that way than waiting for the slow dying death to get me. So yeah, I've been playing a lot of this other game called Darkest Dungeons. Psyche. A person's psyche and stress level. Their body could be whole, but their mind broken. Yeah, stress. And then the coping mechanisms to deal with the stress and the mental break. What a game, that Darkest Dungeon. A bit of a grind, though, I'll tell you that. I'm grinding, for sure. Let me put this stuff away. So yeah, happy holidays. I think we're safely in that time. We're after Thanksgiving now. I can safely say, happy holidays. Happy holidays. Hoo-hoo. Yeah, I'm just sorting through my stuff. You see, I've got like 14 ender pearls, and I've got 8 blaze rods, which translates to 16 blaze powders, which I only need 13 to fill the portal and go to the end. I mean, technically, I could go there right now if I wanted to. If I wanted to go to the end, I could do it right now. But yeah, look at all this great stuff. Why go there so quickly? Okay. So yeah, that's what happened. That's what's been happening in Minecraft world. And I try to make it somewhat reflect the real world. Because like I was thinking about this. Have you ever seen the movie The Matrix with Keanu Reeves? Yeah. So in that movie, The Matrix, he has a book called oh, I forget the name of the book. Simulation and Simulacrum, or something like that. And it's a French author, Jean something something Bouillard, but it looks like Bouillard, and it's Bould, Bouillard, Jean Bouillard. So it's a book called Simulation and Simulacra or something like that. And what he says is that the real world, it's broken down to like 3 levels. Like the first level is like the real world, like level 0. Level 0 is the thing, the thing, the raw sense data of the existence of the thing, because you're experiencing it in that's. So there's that. Then there's like the memory of the thing, which is in your head. If the thing's not there but you still remember it, then it's in your head. Like the effects could still be there, but the thing in itself is not there. So so since you want to communicate, so suppose you want to communicate what you experienced, which is the thing. You experienced the thing. You experienced it. So you want it, but the thing is no longer there. So you want to share what it was that you experienced with another human being. So how do you do that? You can't do telepathy. What is telepathy even, right? So since you can't like look into their brains and know what it is they already know or don't know for context, and you can't give them the direct experience of the thing because you don't have it. It's just a memory in your head. So you have to translate that thing, the experience of the thing, the essence of the thing. You have to translate it into a symbol. And so that's the next layer of abstraction. So you go from level 0 to like level 1 abstraction. So whenever you use this symbol, you know you're referring to this thing. And so you can make a copy of it, right? Because now with symbols, you can make copies. Whereas with the thing, you like, maybe it's not so easy to make copies, or maybe making copies is irrelevant. I don't know. But and then what happens is that these symbols become so important that they're bigger than the thing it came from. And so people start making copies of the symbol, like copies of the copy. Man, I'm not saying it right. You know what? Wikipedia does an amazing job on this. Why am I trying to reinvent the wheel, dude? I don't really understand what I'm like. I understand it, but I don't have a way of explaining it. Oh, look, Firefox doesn't work with at the same time as Okay, let me try this way. Wikipedia simulation. Simulacra and simulation. Okay, so here's how Wikipedia puts it. The first stage is a faithful image or copy, where people believe, and may even be correct to believe, that a sign is a, quote, reflection of a profound reality. This is a good appearance, in which Baudrillard calls the sacramental order. The sacramental order. So it's like the first stage of, you know, when you're like symbolizing the thing. The first time you symbolize it, it's like the bueno one. All right, or the not bueno, the bone. Bien. Okay. The second stage is perversion of reality, where people come. Yeah, here. Why am I reading it to you? I want you to see it too. Snip. We're gonna snip this. Da da da. Bop. There we go. Oh, dude, this is way better. Okay. Da-da! So, the first stage, so that's his name. Da-da-da. You're seeing this, right? Yeah, okay. The first stage is a copy. So, like here, we can even do this in Minecraft. Oh, man, that's awesome. Using the simulation to explain the simulation. Alright, the first stage. So, first you have the thing, right? Let me go get. I hope I have more bricks down here. Man, I'm doing this a lot. I should keep bricks down here for this. For this specific purpose. Let's go get some. Okay. So the first stage is like the first symbol that you create. I guess. I don't know. Like, would that be like the cavemen making the cave drawings, or something else. Da 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 dum dum dum. What am I doing? Alright, so I need signs. Hey, I got signs. Hey, hey. Alright, so this is the first like direct experience. Da-da! Direct experience. Okay. Then go to the first symbol of direct experience. The first like translation, I guess. This is the first one. So this is like how what would you call it? What would you call what would you call the codification? The first codification? Would you codify? So it's not just an unspoken thing, you actually write it down. Okay, and then the second stage is what he says is the perversion. So this is the perversion of reality. It is the order of malfeasance. Here, signs and images do not faithfully reveal reality to us, but can hint at the existence of an obscure reality, which the sign itself is incapable of encapsulating. So what does that even mean? What? A perversion of reality, where people come to believe that the sign is an unfaithful copy. So you believe that whatever is being symbolized is not real. And it actually hides what's really going on. At this level, signs do not faithfully reveal reality to us, but can hint, but they indirectly, they hint at the existence of an obscure reality, that they're hiding something that they're hiding behind or in front of, which the sign itself is incapable of encapsulating. So it's just trying to cover it up. All right. So I don't know what I'm going to call that. The unfaithful copy. Let's try that one. Look at me trying to figure it out, like Wikipedia, like freaking. The third stage masks a profound reality. The absence of a profound reality, where the sign pretends to be a faithful copy, but it is a copy with no original. Signs and images claim to represent something real, but no representation is taking place, and arbitrary images are merely suggested as things which they have no relationship to. Baudrillard calls this the order of sorcery, a regime of semantic algebra where all human meaning is conjured artificially to appear as a reference to the increasingly hermetic truth. So this is the order of sorcery. Let's go back here. Order of source. Ba-da-ba. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. In fact, I should use a different brick. What other brick can I use? Oh, how about that one? Oh yeah, here, let me redo this. So I got the first codification. Unfaithful copy. Yeah. But first you have like the original. The OG. So we'll just say faithful image and faithful image. Faithful copy. Because that's what he says. It's a faithful copy. It's faithful. Okay. Then we have the unfaithful copy. What does he call it? Reality is an evil appearance. And then I have the order of sorcery. Where reality can be anything you can conjure up. And then this one is pure simulacrum. No relationship to no space. Da 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 bop. Hey, I made something. I made another model. I made another model. So, in the movie The Matrix, Neo, as you know, as the Neo opens up a book from Baudrillard, whatever, I can't say his name, and that book is Simulacrum and Simulation, in which he argues that that reality has devolved to simulacrum. That first there's the direct experience, and then you faithfully copy that direct experience. But then you have an unfaithful copy of that experience. Because if you have a faithful one, you automatically create the unfaithful one. Or not create, but like, yeah. Like, and then now you're in the order of sorcery. Now you're in the time where if you can manipulate these symbols, you can create any reality you want. And oh yeah, but this one, so this one, hold on, let me go back here. Yeah, so this one is an accurate reflection of the direct experience. This one is an inaccurate expression of direct experience, but it hints at the fact that it's obscuring the real thing. That there's a higher, there's a more profound reality, and it's just hiding it. You know, and showing you the opposite of what's there. Then you go to the next level, where this one pretends there is no such thing as a profound reality. This one says no, there was never a profound reality. It was never a direct experience. It never happened. It never happened is what they're saying. So this one, where the sign pretends to be a faithful copy, but it is a copy with no original. So this one's saying, oh yeah, that never happened. This one says this never happened, and in fact, actually, this one's saying I'm actually the faithful copy. And I'm saying this one never happened. The direct experience never happened. That's what he's saying. And that hides the fact that this guy is just a copy himself. He's not a faithful representation of reality. He's just a copy. And that there is no original. So you remember Morpheus tells Neo that the world that he remembers, like the late 20th century kind of world, that's like long gone. That's long gone. What we're living is a copy of that long gone world. That it's over. That world's over. We're living in a copy of it. So there is no original. So the world in which they live in is not based on anything real. It is the way it is because that's what the machines made it to be. I don't know. Let me see. Yeah, this third one. Signs and images claim to represent something real, but no representation is taking place. And arbitrary images are merely suggested as things which they have no relationship to. So this part makes me think of something different. Oh, here, let me write that down. So like, what am I, like, think about what it is I'm doing. I'm like playing Minecraft, which is a simulation of reality. But you're watching it on like a smartphone or something, or on a computer. So it's just a projection of what I'm doing, the direct experience. Like all these different layers of mediation. But like what I'm trying to do is say that these symbols that I create here, these blocks, actually have a relationship to reality, a profound reality. The way things really are, a profound reality. But if you talk to Donald Trump is exactly the opposite. Donald Trump makes representations to reality. He says things that he says is reality, but they aren't. They're lies. They're like the whole cats and dogs things, the whole migrant wave thing, the whole fraud thing. All of that was based on lies. The whole thing. And he's saying, so Donald Trump, and then he says, and then they claim the mantle of like freedom and America #1 and the quote real Americans. So they're appropriating all these symbols, but saying that these symbols represent MAGA. Like the American, the patriot, the freedom lover, right? That's what they're saying, but it's not true. It's exactly the opposite. It's exactly the opposite. MAGA stands for authoritarianism, no freedom, no liberty, no justice. No democracy. They're the opposite. It's being misappropriated. So no representation is actually taking place, and arbitrary images are merely suggested as things which they have no relationship to. So they're trying to do sorcery. Woo! So then we get to the simulacrum. The fourth stage is pure simulacrum, in which simulacrum has no relationship to any reality whatsoever. Here, signs merely reflect other signs, and any claim to reality on the part of images or signs is only of the order of the other such claims. What? Here, signs merely reflect other signs, and any claim to reality on the part of images or signs is only of the order of other such claims. This is the regime of total equivalency. So let's see. Here, the signs. That part is the tricky part. Here, signs merely reflect other signs. Let's drill down on this one. That's hard to understand, right? Man, this is all messed up. Come on. All right. Here, signs merely reflect other signs. So it's like a house of mirrors. It's like a house of mirrors. They're just pointing to each other. And any claim to reality on the part of images or signs, if any other sign says, I have reality, I know reality, the only authority it has on the claim to reality is on the order of other such claims. Oh yeah, it's only the order of other such claims. What does that mean? The order, the organization of other claims? Like I came first? Basically, I made the first claim to reality. Therefore, I'm true. I'm the right one. I don't know. This is the regime of total equivalency, where cultural products need no longer even pretend to be real in a naive sense, because the experiences of consumers' lives are so predominantly artificial that even claims to reality are expected to be phrased in artificial, hyper-real terms. Any naive presentation to reality as such is perceived as bereft of critical self-awareness, and thus as over-sentimental. Let me think about that. What does that even mean? because the experience of consumers' lives are so predominantly artificial that even claims to reality are expected to be phrased in artificial hyperreal terms. So, I guess, is that Fox News? Because, like, we have, like, fascism now. Like, I don't think people understand what's coming. Like, it's... Signs merely reflect other... Anyways, so this is the book that Neo was using to hide his stuff. It was a symbol, but the symbol was just a simulacrum. It merely it was a book that he didn't actually read. He just cut it out and hid something inside of it. Into something that no one would open. No one would read. Like, I'm not touching that book. Haha, that's where I keep all my stuff. Anyways, man, it gets wild, is what I'm saying. It gets crazy. So like, that's pretty, like, abstract, right? That's like, ooh, abstract. I don't even know what that means. All right, let's go the exact opposite direction. Totally opposite direction. A bunch of things happened. Syria. So Assad regime has collapsed. The Assad regime has collapsed. So, like, this is like a slow motion world war going on, because you have to understand that Syria is the Bashar Assad regime was allied with Russia. They were working together. So they work together, right? Because Russia has a base in Syria. And you can tell the Russians are really concerned with warm water ports. Warm water ports. Remember that. Russians are very concerned with warm water ports. Why? Why are Russians so concerned with warm water ports? Because they don't have any. The Russians don't have any. All their bases freeze over. The majority of their naval bases freeze over in the winter and are inaccessible. That they can't be used except by submarines. So they are very concerned with maintaining warm water ports. The Russians are, right? That's why they were really concerned with Ukraine. Let's see if I can pull up a map of Ukraine. Do I even have that here? Map Ukraine. How about that? What's this one look like? Yeah. Why? So Russia invaded, right? Russia invaded and took, like, this chunk from that lake around here, around there. I think they took that one. And then they took, like, to the river and down here. They might have lost this chunk. I don't know. But they have Crimea, right? Crimea is the location of one of Russia's naval bases. Warm water ports. They don't have their own, so they have to, like, lease land from other countries to maintain their bases there. And when Ukraine, like, was in the, like, Ukraine being independent and moving toward the EU, that threatens Russia's warm water port. So they invaded and took it over to make sure that it wouldn't go to the EU. Same thing in Syria. Syria, like, you can look at Israel as like an American base. Okay, well, not really a base, right? Because they don't have an actual base there. But like an ally, and they can stage operations from that ally. Qatar actually has an American base there, a naval base there, Qatar. So the United States pays Qatar to maintain a base there so that the United States can do military operations, support military operations in that region. Well, Russia has the same idea. They want to be able to conduct military operations in the Middle East, right? Because everyone wants a chunk of that Middle Eastern oil, right? So, Russia has a deal with Syria to maintain a naval base there in the Mediterranean Sea, near the Suez Canal, and all these other major places. Like Turkey's right there. Like it's in the Mediterranean. It's like right next to Israel. It's like it's a really important naval base. So Russia did a lot of stuff to help Syria support Bashar Assad. Bashar, something like that. The dictator. Now he was a real bad guy. The guy used chemical weapons against his own people. The guy fucking used chlorine gas, killed like thousands of civilians just to kill the rebels that were hiding amongst the civilians. So he's a bad guy. He's evil, right? He's evil. And he fled back to Moscow. There's a map by the New York Times. I should have grabbed it. Like, I don't... Okay. I should have grabbed it. Can I find it? It's really important. Oh, I can't use that one. I gotta use this one. Map of Syria. There we go. Where'd it go, man? I can't find it. It's right here, but it's like hidden underneath. How do I move it? No, I can't. I can't do it. It won't happen. Close window. Dude, why are you doing this? If I knew the keyboard shortcut, I could like... I can see it, I just can't grab it in time. Here, can I just take a snip like this? Take a new snip. Dude, I can't get to it. Like, can I move it? I don't know what the keyboard command is to move. Alt M. Alt M? Nope. That's to shrink it. I need to move it. Oh no, I shrunk everything. Alright, you know what? I'm gonna fail. Close. Don't snip. I need to find a... Just grab a map. Grab a map, dude. Images. This is why I need like Oh hey, are these like relatively recent? That's the map I want. That's it. There it is! Ta-da! Okay. So what do we got going on here? Oh, it's gone. What do we got going on here? I think this area is the Kurds, the yellow. That's the Kurds. The Kurds are good guys. Well, relatively, I guess. I guess. The green are the rebels backed by Turkey. Up here is Turkey. Turkey up here. Israel right here. No, Israel right there. This is Israel. And Israel occupied this part of Syria. There's a bunch of U.S. soldiers hanging out in this little pocket right here. I don't know why. Why? All this is the Syrian regime, from Damascus. So a big city here is Aleppo. That right there. And the green people have taken over Aleppo, and they're driving through this one, and and now they're going to head to Damascus. I think they overthrew Damascus. So I think the Green took over everything. So that's pretty big, because that means, like, why didn't Russia help out the the Assad regime to stop this from happening? Why didn't Russia help them? Because they can't. They can't. They cannot. Russia cannot help its buddy here, because all its forces are being tied up in Ukraine. Do you see? Do you see how these events are connected? That by applying sanctions to Russia for its war in Ukraine, we've taken away their ability to hold Syria in the Middle East, and they lost control of Syria. So that means they lose their warm water port in the Mediterranean. They have no friends in the Mediterranean. They have nowhere to go in the Mediterranean now. They have no bases there. They're trying to set up contacts in Africa, which if you notice, I don't have any Africa on here, which is kind of fucked up, I guess. I don't know anything about Africa though, right? I don't know anything about it. Like, I don't even know where to start. I know the lines are all messed up because the European powers that drew the lines did so without consideration for the cultural and historical reality. The cultural and historical reality. They did so without regard for that. They just drew lines for political reasons. And so yeah, I don't know much about Africa. I know it's exploited by the Europeans, or it was. But yeah, in terms of the Middle East and for control of what? I don't know, the world? I don't know. Russia is losing its base in Syria. So it's losing its presence in the Mediterranean, because if it loses its base in Syria and Russia loses its naval base in Ukraine, then there's no way. Like, already it's blocked by Turkey, or it could be blocked by Turkey if Turkey decides to close the strait. Do you know Turkey? Turkey. Images. Oh, no, I like this. Turkey. So Turkey, right there, this is Crimea. This is Crimea for Ukraine. And on this side is Russia. So Russia over here, Ukraine over here. So Russia had a base here somewhere in Crimea. It had a naval base. But when Ukraine became independent, like, its hold on its own naval base became a little shaky. Especially as Ukraine moved to join the EU and NATO. Well, it didn't have any plans to join NATO until Russia invaded. That changed everything. Anyways, you'll notice though, even though Russia had a naval base here, a warm water port, even though they had a warm water naval base here, they still only had access to the Mediterranean and the open ocean through this peninsula here in Istanbul. Like, you cannot tell from the map, but there's a little tiny, like, river space that the ships can drive through to go in and out. And then they go through this spot right here, and then they go out to the Mediterranean, and then to the wider world. So this is a super important position to be in. Super important position to be in. Strategically important. That cuts off, like, this ocean, and cuts off all these countries from the rest of the world. So and here's Syria. Here's where they have their other warm water port, Russia. Right? So if Russia loses both its warm water port here in Syria and in Crimea, it has no access to the Mediterranean. and the Atlantic Ocean. I mean, it does through Kaliningrad, but that's just an enclave, and that even that one's kind of spotty. Do you know about Kaliningrad? Hey, let's do that one real quick. Desktop, dude, this is making it complicated. Oh no. Okay, hold on. No, I want just the map, dude. See, screw you, Britannica. I just wanted the image to use real quick. Oh, there we go. Is that it? No. Shit. Alright. Ta-da! There we go. Got it. Okay. So here's another map, right? This is another map of Russia. There's St. Petersburg. And then Kaliningrad. Like Ukraine, Belarus, Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, Finland, which is joining NATO. Sweden, which is joining NATO. Right? Belarus is a puppet is puppeted by Russia. They corrupted the government in Belarus, overthrew the elections, and installed a Russian puppet. That's what they wanted to do in Ukraine. But the Ukrainian people threw out the puppet and then fought for their independence. So, yeah, right? Do you understand what's going on? So, Ukraine is fighting for its independence from Russia. And Russia planned on corrupting the government of Ukraine to get like they corrupted the government of Belarus. So they didn't need to use the military. Because you can see the Russian military is all used up in Ukraine now and can't defend other parts of its world. So it had a grip on Syria, and now it's losing it, and it lost it. It lost its base there. It's lost its puppet government, its ally, nothing. So the only other port I know about is Kaliningrad. Right. That's the only other port I know about. It still has to get through all of these NATO countries. It's still surrounded by NATO, you see? and it's not connected. Kaliningrad is not connected to Russia at all. It's not even connected to its ally, Belarus, because this little gap here. But that's what's going on. Russia's losing its ability to maintain control on the rest of its allies or its colonies, its vassals. It's losing its control of its vassals. Now it's not all rah good guys NATO, right? Because there's the United States with Palestine. The United States is facilitating Israel's genocide of the Palestinian people. I know, right? Not a pleasant thought to have during this nice, warm, cheery Christmas festival, where we celebrate the birth of well, if you're Christian, you celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ. How does it feel to be killing children and committing genocide in the land where Jesus lived? Anyways, so yeah, interesting juxtaposition now. So yeah, the United States aren't all good guys. Look at the United States. What a Jekyll and Hyde kind of thing. Right? It's such a Jekyll and Hyde thing. I'm gonna get more coffee. Because on one hand, it's the oldest democracy in existence. Oh, this is... man, I need this hotter. It's the oldest it's the oldest democracy in existence. Like, give it up for the oldest democracy in existence. Continuous, right? It hasn't. But then again, remember, it's only been a partial democracy. It's only been a democracy for some of the people. For other people, it was apartheid. It was the model on which Nazi Germany built itself. It's the model on which apartheid South Africa is built upon. So it's not perfect by any means. It's, in fact, the history of the United States has been a struggle to wrest control of the state from the oligarchs and slavers and hand it to the people. That's the history of the United States. That's our grand story. Because the idea that freed the oligarchs and the slavers from the power of the king could also be used to free the people from the powers of the oligarchs and slavers. The same power can be used to free the people. So that's the history, right? You're either pushing for more democracy or you're pushing for more oligarchy. And we just had an election where the people of the USA, a slim plurality, 49% of the voters voted to put the oligarchs in control of the state. Man, so we're gonna head to bad times, is what I'm saying. We're heading to bad times. We're heading to bad times. But that's what the people wanted. Or that's what, not, I wouldn't say the people. That's what 49% of the people wanted, is to head to bad times. To say, you know what? Like, so here, but let's take like a view of like what that even means. What does that even mean? So, you know that Elon Musk and that Ramsey dude, Ramaswamy dude, that guy. So Musk and Ramaswamy are in charge of this commission to try and find programs to cut. And they found out that they could save $119 billion if they cut VA healthcare. You know how, like, so currently right now, if you serve in the armed forces and you get an honorable discharge, the government will help take care of you for the rest of your life. They'll give you medical care for the rest of your life. Pretty good, right? Pretty good deal, right? But the problem is that while serving the government, you might, like, your shit might get fucked up. Your body might get damaged irrevocably in some cases, irreparably. So it only makes sense that the government would promise to take care of you if you get hurt, or take care of you for the rest of your life, health-wise. It just makes sense, since they're going to put you in a position when you could conceivably really mess yourself up. Or die. Okay, but yeah, so things they want to cut is they want to get rid of the VA healthcare, the National Institute of Health. They want to stop Pell Grants. They want to stop Head Start programs for kids. They want to defund the FBI. They want to defund the federal prisons, and they want to defund the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission, you know, to stop people from committing financial crimes and, you know, stuff like that. So that's cool, man, right? That's what the voters wanted. The voters wanted Donald Trump I mean, or like the 49%. I wouldn't say all the voters. 49% wanted Donald Trump to rein in, to focus on the deficit or whatever, and not even focus on the deficit. They wanted him to lower prices. So veterans widely support Trump for president. So if you're a veteran, it's likely that veterans supported Donald Trump for president. Based on in September, that might be old, right? That was based on September 2nd. That's before the election. That was before the election. Veterans supported Donald Trump. So Donald Trump proposed to cut the VA after the election. What else do I got here? That kind of sucks. Kind of sucks. Alright, well, what else do I got? I got a story from NBC where a cop was found or convicted for taking guns that were in the evidence locker of a police station and selling them for his own profit. So he takes guns that were illegal and then puts them back on the black market. That's what the cop was doing. And I guess it's a widespread practice. Because if you think about it, why is it that the cartels, the Mexican cartels, are able to challenge the Mexican government? Why is that? How come? Well, the Mexican cartel is very well armed. Very well armed. Then the question is, well, how come Mexican cartels are very well armed? Mexico doesn't have a burgeoning arms industry. Where are they getting these weapons from? And the answer is, they're getting it from the United States. So the reason why Mexico has a cartel problem is because the United States is arming them indirectly. The criminal elements of the United States arm the Mexican drug cartels, so that the Mexican drug cartels can continue to send fentanyl or whatever drugs up into the United States. I mean, actually, I hear most fentanyl comes from China, but I don't know how. I don't know how. The precursors get sent, because the precursors aren't illegal. Not if you synthesize them here in the United States. You get the parts of it, and then you do the chemistry here to put them together. I don't know. Alright, what else we got? Adair, Iowa, had a population of 794. 794, damn. So it seems suspicious when its 3-person police department asked regulators to buy 90 machine guns, including an M134 Gatling-style minigun capable of shooting up to 6,000 rounds of ammunition every minute. That's a lot of money, dude. Holy shit. 6,000 rounds is a lot of money in 1 minute. Federal agents later discovered Adair's police chief, Bradley Wend, was using his position to acquire weapons and sell them for a personal profit. A jury convicted Wend earlier this year of conspiracy to defraud the United States, lying to federal law enforcement, and illegal possession of a machine gun. Wendt is unapologetic and has appealed his conviction. If I'm guilty of this, every cop in the nation's going to jail, Wentz told CBS News just days before a federal judge sentenced him to a 5-year prison term. Wentz's crimes appear to be part of a nationwide pattern. Oh, that's the veteran saying that we like going to the VA. Alright. So yeah, the American police giving weapons to the Mexican cartels. But you know what? It doesn't matter. Like Americans love their guns. I mean, look what happened, right? That healthcare CEO got murdered in Manhattan, and like people aren't sad about it. You ever read the book The Great Gatsby? It's about the 1920s New York. And how everything was like gilded. Like on top it looked like gold, but if you looked underneath it was rotting. It's like an apple. It's like you have a golden apple and the outside is shining gold, right? But if you pierce it, you find the gold is just very thin. It's not gold all the way through. It's very thin. And when you get underneath it to the apple underneath, the apple is rotted. It's a rotten apple. So the gold just covers up the rotten inside. The Great Gatsby is about a story about this millionaire, because they didn't have billionaires back then. They had millionaires. The rich people. The rich people lived on this island, like with a bunch of other rich people, and they didn't care about like they were the upper parts of society. They were the top caste, the top class, and then like the people below them, the workers, they were all less than human. They were like nothing. They were just things to be used up and then thrown away. So so one of the rich guys was having an affair with with a lower class, a person of a lower class than him. He was rich, and this woman was like a working class woman, like, and I don't remember if she was like a sex worker or what. I don't know, or if it was just an affair, or I don't know what it was. But he would drive into the bad parts of town, the poor parts of town, to find her, like go to like a place to have sex, and then drive back home. And he would do it, and then like one time he borrowed, and then anyways, and one time he drove back to town. When he was driving back, he hit a lady and killed her. But he didn't care, right? Because she was just a lower class lady that he hit. And he just kept going because like she was worth nothing to him. She like not even worth him slowing down. Like her life was not even worth thinking about to him. Because he's so rich, right? And she was whatever person he hit was a lower class person. And she wasn't as important as he was. Well, her husband, was real angry and tracked down the owner of the car and then like murdered the owner of the car. Because the husband thought the owner of the car was the one who was driving when they killed his wife. Hit his wife and killed her. So that comes back to the healthcare assassination. Like, I don't necessarily condone it, because I'm afraid of what might happen is they will just clamp down on more of our freedoms. It'll be more like cyberpunk or something. I don't know. Not even that. I don't know. Something bad. Maybe it's already there, and I'm just looking at the simulacrum of a 20th century America. And we're not there anymore. We're not in the 20th century anymore. Late 20th century. I'm from the 90s, man. Sort of. I was a kid in the 90s. Weren't we all? No, we weren't. Some of us weren't even born yet. Alright. Yeah, we're heading to like scary times. But I claim to have the truth. Yay! I make a truth claim. I make a truth claim. The truth claim I make is that yeah, there's an expression of truth, justice, and liberty that we should strive, that all of us should strive to attain. Because everything has a root, right? Everything has a root. So even though America was born of slavery and genocide, that wasn't the only thing it was born out of. Like, it came from the English, who themselves were invaded and colonized. By the Normans, the men of the North. And the French, who were themselves colonizers, right? I don't understand. I don't really know. I don't remember, because the French come from the Franks, but before the Franks there were the Gauls. So I don't understand what happened. Like, did the Franks just come in and kill all the Gauls, or what? I gotta look that up. I don't know. Anyways, they were invaded by the Romans. And then the Romans took a lot of culture from the Greeks, the ancient Greeks. So for a lot of the West, the ideas that and the culture they study, like, derives from the ancient Greeks. So our ideas of consciousness, like our philosophy, everything comes from the ancient Greeks. Not everything. I mean, we use Arabic numerals and the Phoenician alphabet, but not everything. Yeah. So, but I say we, like, is that me? What am my dad, dude? What am I talking about? Like, well, I mean, I'm talking about what started USA, like the colony. I mean, because, yeah, don't forget the African side of the colony, right? That it wasn't just built or created. It wasn't just created by Europeans. It was also created by Africans, enslaved Africans. Where did it happen? It didn't just happen in a vacuum. It happened in on native land. But we're going backwards. Like, where did it come from? Where did this thing come from? And my training tends to, I mean, like, I'm sure I understand there's all these other things, but my training leads me back to the ancient Greeks, where we get the idea of democracy and education. So what is education? Education is the idea that humans can be improved, that you can take a human and make a better human, make him better. Like, very simple, right? And there's various methods over time to figure out how can you make a better human, basically educate. How can you use education to create better humans? So I believe in making better humans. And I believe a government can be created to facilitate the creation of better humans. And that distributing power is the fairest method by which, and consensus is the fairest method by which we can live together and come together as a unity. I believe in human rights, because I think through the expression of human rights, we can reach our fullest potential. Only through the expression of our human rights can we reach our fullest potential. Yeah, and so we get the idea of democracy from the ancient Greeks. So this idea is a good idea. This idea to maximize freedom for individuals for the betterment of society. So by helping one, you help the other. By helping individuals, you help society. But not just one individual over everyone, like all the individuals. You have to help all the individuals. It's sort of like utilitarianism in a way, almost. You help all the individuals. Because we put truth as our highest ideal. Truth, justice, and liberty. Justice. Again, from the ancient Greeks. The poet, Hesiod. Nah, was that Hesiod? Oh, dude, I don't even know anymore. Who wrote Working Days. Talks about decay. It's been a long time, right? Decay, the goddess of justice. There's a cosmic order, and if you violate this cosmic order, decay will exact punishment upon you. So he posits the existence of a cosmic order, and he posits the existence of a deity who ensures that this cosmic order is maintained. Otherwise, like, eventually she'll step in to right it. So this idea that there's a there's a more profound reality out there. It's a true sign. It's a faithful representation. I don't know. All right. So yeah, there's something that it's worth fighting for. Democracy is worth fighting for. Like, again, we have the oldest form of democracy. Like, we have the oldest form. Did I keep that, or did I not keep it? I did not keep it. Maybe it's the wrong one. It's the wrong one, dude. This one. We have the oldest form of democracy. So there's going to be issues. Oh man. The oldest form of democracy, so there's issues with it because it's the oldest and hasn't really been reformed. Da 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 da. Right? The presidency. Only place a president can be elected against the majority expressed at the polls. Only presidential democracy in the world in which the president is elected via an electoral college rather than directly by voters. That's the United States. Number 2, the Senate. Only democracy where legislative minorities routinely and permanently thwart legislative majorities. One of the few remaining democracies that retains a bicameral legislature with a powerful upper chamber. Only democracy with both a strong malappropriated malapportioned Senate and a legislative minority veto, the filibuster. The two-party system. USA is one of the few established democracies with first-past-the-post electoral college rules that tend to produce a two-party system. It's the Supreme Court. Only democracy in the world with lifetime tenure for Supreme Court justices. All other established democracies have either term limits, a mandatory retirement age, or both. America's constitutional amendability. America's frozen constitution could well be the world's most difficult to amend. So, yeah, dude, the United States has major issues because it's the oldest fucking democracy out there that in modern times, and it's never really been like updated. And you can see that we'd have a real hard time updating it because there's two radically different viewpoints being expressed. One of the oligarchs and slavers, and then one of the people that benefits the people. And Donald Trump represents oligarchs and slavers. So he has control of the federal government right now. Kind of scary. Because the people wanted him. Not enough people voted in democracy to make it to like, yeah, the biggest number of people who the biggest block are the non-voters who didn't even bother voting. So yeah, we're gonna lose our democracy. We can't even get people to vote. Why can't we get people to vote? Because they're probably struggling really hard just to get by. Kind of hard to care about what's going on in the government when you're worried about rent and healthcare and your tooth is bugging you, but you can't do anything about it because it costs too much. And that whatever healthcare you do have doesn't have dental. Like there's so many ways it's stupid in the United States. There's so many ways we can be better. Yeah. Anyways, you don't come here listening to hear me bitch about how bad things are. You know how bad things are. You already know. You want solutions. Well, what do you mean solutions? Like, we just had an election, man. The only solution now is organize, and I don't even know what that means. Like, I don't even go out anymore and interact with any other humans. I don't even do it. Maybe I should start somehow. I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know. More glowberries. Anyways. Well, here's my submission for a show. Like, happy holidays. Don't kill yourself. there's a reason to keep living, dude. It doesn't, like the Buddhists say, everything is temporary. This too shall pass. Everything changes. You never know what's gonna happen. Like, I had no idea Syria was gonna collapse. I had no idea. You never know what's gonna happen. So hang in there. So, alright, until next time, peace. Pago Kiddo out. Stop.